Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Master of Orion. Alright, so first thing I want to do before I forget, send this population point to Ptolemy 2 and drop it off. Let's jump on to Ptolemy 2 here, who's currently working on this Hornet. I don't think we actually need that population into production. Yeah, it gets you a turn off, but you know what? Let's get a little bit more research going here, as we do get pretty efficient research going here. We have an atmospheric renewer, and we might as well queue up some buildings here as well. So let's look at what is... Oh, toxic processor. I like doing that. Limits the pollution. And everything else takes 11 turns, it looks like. So you know what? I think I'm going to terraform this planet. It is a swamp planet, so we can get it up to the next tier by terraforming it. I think that's, you know, about time to do that. Now, we're a little bit behind, though, on population here, although we're almost going to have some population in a few turns, as this is one of our newer planets. We also have some growth on this planet. And I think I'm going to shove that growth over into food production so we can get population coming out a little bit quicker. And it looks like we're queued up good here. And everything else should be about fine. We might as well send the colony ship on its way and colonize this planet. Now, we've seen ocean planets before, so I just went ahead and skipped that. Let's go ahead and queue up its production. It's going to be more or less the same kind of thing we usually do. Hydroponic farms, biosphere. Then you need the automated factories there. And we also need the government support facility, which is somewhere around here. As you get more and more buildings, it starts getting pretty cluttered. And then finally, we need the research lab, which is here. All right, there we go. Now, this is a pretty small planet, so there's not a whole lot we can do here as far as overall population, although we could have a total of 7. And it looks like we're limited to only 3 workers in the production queue, which is interesting. In any case, that's more or less our production. All right, we're sending a fleet over here to try and wipe out the remainder of the Bolrathi. We're sending our troop transports. They're getting there as quickly as they can. Just going to try and move them along. I know this really doesn't make all that much of a difference, but I'm not 100% sure where my 3rd troop transport is, but it's somewhere around here. Okay, our scouts are moving. More or less. This one's only a couple turns away from being over there. Looks like the Alkari here are blockading another Bolrathi planet. So it looks like the Bolrathi are really on a course of destruction here, because this is pretty much it. This system, and this system. Now, this system is flooded with planets, but they're mostly terrible planets, so it shouldn't be too hard to wipe them out. I'm not even going to bother taking a lot of these planets. I'm just going to totally wipe out the populations, as these planets are really not that great outside of, you know, maybe these two you could make an argument for, more this one, because it is got a special resource, but it's a desert planet, and it's small, so it can only have so much population. I think, yeah, for sure, we're going to see the Alkari getting destroyed here. And this is what type of planet as well? A barren. So the only real good planet they have is their home system, which we're about to try and take. So when that happens, we'll be very happy. Again, I have no idea where my 3rd troop transport is, unless there are 2 that are together that I just am missing somehow, but I would imagine... Oh, yeah, they were together. Yeah, there you go. I'm hoping that 1 troop transport can do it, because it would be 4 versus... Well, last time we saw 3. And it does take quite a while for fleet, for the troops to count to get up there. In any case, that's pretty much it. So we just had some a little bit of growth and a little bit of construction going on. Let's go ahead and end the turn. I think we're going to have a little bit more going on this turn. Okay, so the Space Factory finished a military outpost, and we have a threatening fleet. Let's check that out. Oh, well, that's just a space monster. We knew about that. And there's no real incentive for me to kill the space monster, because I can't really capitalize it right now on it. And this planet isn't that fantastic. But in any case, let's go ahead and move over here with that Space Factory and work on building a military outpost there. And then with this fleet, you know, they're just going to stay where they are, guarding the system. And we have pretty much that's it that happened. I expected more than that, but sometimes you don't get it. Although we can search here with this scout. All right, so we arrived at a dead end, more or less. And none of these planets are really hitting me over the head with being awesome. Although this one does have gold, and I do like money. We do have abundance of money, and I haven't really been spending it. And part of the reason I haven't been spending it is so that I can afford to upgrade some of our more important ships. Which actually I may be able to afford now, so that's something I should consider. So the only system that we don't have for sure explored here, I think, is this system, but it doesn't look like there's anything in it. So we've more or less explored all of the systems we know about except this one, which we can't get to. So we more or less have the galaxy explored. Our scouts are starting to outlive their usefulness as they are completely non-combat ships. So I'm going to go ahead and send this ship over here just to say we did explore the system. And let's go ahead with the sending of this fleet. That's going to be awkward if our bomber gets there before the rest of our fleet. But considering that they don't have actually any attack ships, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I think we're getting there. Our transport is actually in system now. And it will be there next turn. We can evaluate what we want to do at that point. And we're on the way. And while I'm speaking of on the way and having enough money, I might as well, as I'm thinking about it, we have a military outpost here. So we can upgrade this fleet. What can we afford? So we can afford upgrading a flea. We can afford upgrading the Beetle, but we cannot afford upgrading the Hornet. Now, I'm not too concerned about the Wasp because we're more or less going to be rebuilding them because I figure that's a little bit more efficient. So we're going to actually just wait until we can afford to upgrade this Hornet over here. And that is what I think I'm going to end up doing. So let's go ahead and just jump into the next turn. All right, we have a lot of production going on. And we can attack now, more or less. Let's just send our fleet into the system. So yeah, the Beetle did outrun the rest of our fleet, which is interesting. We can't attack yet, because we just got in, but shouldn't be too difficult to wipe out this fleet. We'll be doing that soon. And we can attack with our troop transport. I want to wait for that, though, just a little bit. Let's just check out our production, see what's going on. So we need to queue stuff here. What do we want to queue? Same kind of stuff we've been queuing. We've got that. We've got that. And then maybe I'll terraform, because this is a desert planet, and it could do with... oh, we missed something, though. Fungal farms is... priority, I think. So, yeah, I guess we'll wait to terraform until we're done with this. Although, do we really need the Holo Simulator right now? I would say no. Let's work on the terraforming. Okay. Now we have cloning center on this planet. Now, this is an ocean planet, so we could terraform it, but I don't think the incentive to do so is as high. And I don't really see anything else we need to queue up at the moment. We've got a neutron collider on Ptolemy 5, and we already have that terraforming queued up, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then we have the robo-miners, and now we're working on the subterranean farms. How many turns away are we from getting a battleship? 5. What is the production on Fearless Prime looking like? 7? Ooh, boy, we need to clean up pollution. So why don't we do that? Do that up. Probably work on that for a few turns. So we're not that close to completing this at the moment. And Soul, we have this, and then 2 turns after that we'll have that Astro Engineering. And at that point we may go with the battleship. Now, this isn't one of our higher production planets, though, so it is arguable. Like, for instance, it might be a better call on Ptolemy 2 to do that. As Ptolemy 2 will get this done and then have a turn left to work on a battleship. It can complete that battleship quicker. Probably a better call. So what do we do with our home system, then? Not really sure. We could work on... I don't know. I'm just going to have to come to that when I come to that. I don't really know. Okay, any case, let's go ahead and try an attack with our troop transport. See how that works for us. We can always abort if we don't want to do it. Yeah, they now have 4 Marines, so this might not work. The thing I'm not certain of is how many transports can you use a turn? Because that seemed to be a little bit of something that I didn't really understand very well. So we could send these guys down and hope they destroy the Marines, but it doesn't seem like that's likely. And then we just keep sending them as they come, or we wait until the rest of our troop transports come, and they're how many turns away? 4? You know what? I'm going to wait to see if we actually can do an like a mass attack of the planet, but I'm not seeing that be the case. And this space factory is kind of going to be sitting here until we have something for it to do. And our fleet just got here, so we can't really attack. So, unless that was last turn that we did that, I'm actually not sure. Okay. Well, we'll just see if it was indeed last turn. Yeah, it was. Okay. All right, let's end the turn. Okay, so we have some production going on and a lot of growth. Let's check out the growth first. Alpha 4. Let's put one of those guys into food production so we can get that population going. Got another one over here, and we might do something similar over there, get that population growing. And Ptolemy 5 has grown. Now, this is the planet we want to be growing, and I think I put it into food production, and I think I'm happy with it staying there. Although I could do that. It doesn't really affect pollution. It did affect how many turns that's going to be done. Let's do that. All right. And then we have subterranean farms over in Gata Prime. And then we're going to do some population creation here, or population moving, I should say. We might as well queue up another one of those. Okay. So our fleet over here needs to come in and attack. We are going to attack. They do have some defenses, and I'm going to take command to limit the losses we'll incur. As I usually don't trust automated battles unless it's just so clear you're going to win. And maybe late game when you have massive fleets and you're attacking and you're fairly certain you're going to win. You don't really care about losses. But right now, that's not really the situation. And any losses that we got would be not really great. This is also taking quite a while to load. I don't remember it taking this long to load in the past. Alright, so I tried to do the battle. The battle just kept loading and loading and loading and wouldn't load in. So I closed out of the game. Fortunately, the game was auto-save, so I was able to come back into the turn and do all of what I did previously in the beginning of the turn, at least what I could remember that I did. And then I tried to do the battle again, and again the same thing happened. So then I tried to load in again, and then the game crashed. So I've had quite a few attempts at trying to do this next bit. And as a result of it giving me a lot of problems here, I'm actually thinking about attacking something different to see if I can actually get a battle to load in. Because our fleet strengths are so close, I really don't like automating this battle because I think the losses on my side would be too severe, considering that I know if I was actually able to fight this battle, I would have 0 losses. So let's just go and attack a military outpost and see, or attack a planet that, a different planet maybe, although I don't know if any of these have defenses beyond Lyra 3 here. And it looks like they actually did move their capital because the star is now in a different place. I don't know how you do that, but apparently it is something you can do. So let's attack a military outpost and see if we can get a battle to actually load in here. So I'm going to take command. See, that loaded right away. And the other attempts of doing that one battle, it would just load and load and load and nothing would happen. So I'm doing a battle I really don't want to do, but this was just mostly a test to see if I actually could do it. So I'm going to have the ships come over here a little bit. And, you know, the cruiser, I'm just going to send to attack. But everybody else, I'm going to have come over here a little bit before they attack so that I get a straight avenue. And then they'll just auto-attack, you know, as they tend to do. Although my cruiser is kind of straying over towards the asteroid, which is not exactly what I want it to do. As are my frigates. Come on, guys. There you go. And this destroyer, the bomber, I really don't care what it does. As soon as I launch my missiles, I'm going to back off. Which, unfortunately, the range of my frigates is pretty short. Alright, let's bring this guy back. I don't think the cruiser is fired off, although I could be wrong, because I am in range of everything else. So, I guess we'll back off. Yeah, those proton torpedoes are quite a bit longer ranged than some of my other weapons. Okay, destroyer, get out of there. And we're going to have another salvo coming. This should finish him off. Yep, there we go. Easy victory. Not a really necessary victory, but we were just trying to prove a concept that, normally speaking, the battles do not take long to load in, but for some reason, when I tried to do this battle, it just kept taking forever. I don't know if it was just crashing and just keeping me in the load screen or what, but that is kind of what happened. In any case, we have another fleet that needs orders, and it is going to be this guy. So we're just going to have him sleep until we can figure out conquering this planet. And we are 3 turns out. And that should be everything. I already did all this stuff. So I know it's giving me indicators that stuff has happened, but I already did that. And off camera just to bring myself back up to speed. So let's go ahead and end the turn. Oh, yeah, I have to tell this guy to sleep as well. I'm going to wait until the rest of the fleet gets there. Okay, so we've got a couple more buildings. I'm going to try that battle again, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do whatever I need to do. I'm going to save it, and then so the building constructed there. We already have stuff queued. And we're working on pollution cleanup here, which is good. And do we queue up anything else? Not really sure, but we do have this transport, and I'll send it over here for now, and then I'll decide later where it needs to go. And I sent the Space Factory over here to work on that military outpost. I think I can afford to upgrade the Hornet now, so let's do that. So there's the Hornet. Let's upgrade it. Okay. That should dramatically increase the fleet effectiveness. And be quite a while before we are able to upgrade our other one, but for the meantime, we're okay. Go ahead and get our cruiser over to the planet. Get these guys moving along. So next turn we should have it. Okay, and then we have this fleet to order. As I said, I'm going to just do a hard save here as a precaution in case we lose the game again. All right. So let's try and do the battle that we actually want now. Attack, and I'm going to take command here because I want the best chances. And here it goes loading. And here it is taking quite a long time again. So like last time you saw, it was like, bam, loaded. For whatever reason, this just takes a lot longer to load in, and I just can't get it to do this battle. No matter how hard I try. Alright, another failure. So, I don't know what it is, but something about this battle, when I try and do it, it just won't load in. Every time I try and do it, it doesn't load in or it crashes. So, I guess I'm just going to go after a different planet here. So, what is the best planet that we can go after? Well, looks like this one is probably a good priority target. I might eventually go after this planet, but I'm going to do it after I've wiped out all these other planets. So we do have some defenses here, and I am going to take command. Let's see if this works. See, immediate load in. I really, I don't know what's going on with that. It just won't load those battles in. All right, so let's come over this way. Kind of skirt around. I didn't pay attention to what kind of base that was, but I guess I could click on it and find out. It's a missile base, which you kind of expect. I think that's the one of the first techs you unlock, and it's also potentially one of the more powerful bases that you could have. Because in theory, missiles can do a lot more damage. The downside is, if you outrange the missiles, it doesn't really matter. Get our cruiser going. Kind of want to hold off on my other ships. Although, might as well send them now. We're going to focus on the missile base. My bomber can just do whatever it wants over here. I don't really care. Oh, I'm not paying attention. I'm letting my ships get too close. I don't think I took any damage outside of just some shield damage, unless some of that damage actually seeped through the shields. Okay, bomber, you can go somewhere else. That should do the base. Yep. Let's attack this instead now. It doesn't look like those proton torpedoes locked onto a no target, and part of that could be because of the obsolete ships that I have. Some of them not having that guidance system that the newer ships have. Okay. Send this guy back. Send these guys forward again. And we should have the base here soon. Now, the interesting thing is, as I upgrade these ships, they're going to actually lose their range advantage. And you F off. I almost wonder with that one system where I'm getting that bug, if it's because there are ships that are non-combatants involved in a combat, like in a system that is also going to have a major combat, and it just like freaks out because of that, and it's like, what do I do? All right, so let's now attack the colony. And keep dropping bombs until they don't exist anymore. Yeah, I mean, this entire fleet here is civilian ships, and that could be the reason why we're having that glitch out, is that it wants to involve the fleet and the combat, but the fleet is non-combat, so they shouldn't be able to be involved, and then it just freaks out and it doesn't know what to do. I mean, that's just an assumption that I have. I really honestly don't know. But in any case, I think I'm going to end the video here. I'm not really sure what the length of the overall video is going to be, but I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.